I like to call this my little wall of curiosities.
Hey guys! What builds up a home is not just the people, but the love and the connections and the character that it is reflected upon. They say a home is built of many elements, and we Indians love a little touch of Indianness into our homes. So we're back again on yet another episode on our Women Entrepreneur series. Today we have with us a special guest who not only redesigns the textile Indian fabrics into modern living homes with her curated living ideas, but also does a lot more. I'm a big fan of her products. I buy a lot from her. So let's do a little chit chat with her and let's try to understand her more. Hi, this is Ankita from Hybis TV, and today we have Kriti from Kari by Kriti. So Kriti, I'm very curious to know, what does Kari mean?
Kari is actually short for Karigar or Karigari, which in Hindi means an artisan and artisanal products.
So what came to your mind when you started Kari by Kriti?
So the idea behind Kari by Kriti was to bring Indian artisans and artisanal products actually in our homes. Because we have this thinking that traditional products and traditional techniques are meant for traditional homes, for traditional decor. But I wanted to actually make them useful for products that are that can be used globally and for modern homes also. So all of our products are catered to a global audience and to homes that are not just traditional Indian.
What was your entire journey of starting Kari by Kriti and then going through it over the years?
This is a very interesting question, and I actually started with a blog called Handmade Talks in 2013 while I was living in Australia. And that blog was all about handmade and artisanal products and stuff like that. But Kari by Kriti actually started in 2020, just a few days before the lockdown. And that is when we launched our website, and I made a full-fledged entry into this into creating our brand.
So what are some of the challenges that you had faced as a woman entrepreneur in this field of home decor, which I believe is flooded with polyester throughout, but you are doing something which is cotton, hand block printing and other stuff. So I think this could be a very difficult market to crack into.
It was a difficult market to crack into, but before we get into that, I wanted to share a couple of challenges that we as women face. And one of the biggest challenges is that people don't take you seriously. It's all about doing a hobby or something for your time pass. But just in our society in general, having a woman build a business from scratch is not seen as an identity for her. It's a hobby, it's something you do in your pastime, and that is something I really wanted to break. And I think in some aspects I have been able to do that. Coming to the second question, a market flooded with polyester. Well, yes, in 2013 I saw that there was a shift from products that were China based to people accepting Indian products. The challenges that I faced were really finding the quality fabric. And the market is flooded with a lot of artificial polyester, artificial silks, even mixed cottons. So to really understand, I come from a textiles background, and I know the basics of fabrics, which is why it wasn't as difficult for me. But to really understand that hand block print and to make out the difference between a hand block and screen printing, it's difficult for someone who doesn't have that sort of a background. So for initially it was also a learning curve for me, that I had to actually tell the vendors that no, I want 100% cotton, I'm not okay with a mixed fabric. And they would tell me that no, it's okay, people don't understand that. And just to break that just to be affirmative about it, that no, I want cotton and I am going to do this, was a challenge.
Initially, how did you identify the gap in the market that we need to have something in home decor sector, which already had a lot of players, but yours is very unique. So how did you come into this full throttle into your own concepts and your own designing embedded into it?
So while living in Australia, I visited a store called Pottery Barn. It's one of the biggest home decor stores from the US. And there I found a lot of products that had been exported out of India. But the gap that I saw was that in India, we didn't get these products. There were hardly any stores that were actually selling such products. So that was something that I wanted to do. And, whenever I would take something back home, a lot of people would ask me that this is made in India, but where do we get it in India? And that is how I identified that this was the gap that I wanted to bridge.
Could you tell us how your own family and friends were supportive towards this idea?
We relocated from Australia in 2013, and in Hyderabad, which is an IT city, I did not find a job that I really liked. And that was the time I decided that I wanted to do something of my own. I was anyways running a blog, and I thought that I could step it up and make it into a product line. My thoughts, and convert those into a product line. At that time, I was also expecting my son. Once my son was born, I was looking for a baby blanket for him that was 100% cotton, good for his skin, good for the environment, but I did not find one. So I thought, why not start something in on those lines, baby products and baby quilts, baby blankets and stuff. When I approached vendors in Jaipur, no one was ready to do small pieces for me. So finally, I found someone who was ready to do about 10 pieces for me. So from 2014 till about 2020, it was a very small business. We were growing organically, word of mouth. I did not have a website. We were only selling through an international website called Etsy and our Instagram page. And in 2020 is when I asked my husband on how I can grow this business, and that is when he came in with his full support and advised on how I could grow it. And ever since, he has been the brain behind this business. So my husband has been my biggest supporter. He has been pushing me to do more, to create more, to 10x my business, to 10x my thoughts. And he has been giving me strategic ideas on how to build this business. So his support has been paramount in actually building Kari by Kriti. My mother has been around in Hyderabad ever since 2021, and she has been a backbone for my business.
So, how did you identify the artisan clusters in India and how do you collaborate with them?
I have a background in textiles, apparel management, and I studied in Delhi. And through that, I started working for a buying house in Gurgaon. And for that buying house, I was working for a large company in the US, and they were sourcing a lot of block prints from India. And because of that, I got the exposure to the Jaipur market and the Jaipur block print business. It was very fascinating for me. In 2012, my husband was studying in Ahmedabad, and I moved to Ahmedabad with him. And that's when I visited Kutch, and that was another fascinating experience for me. How in the desert, the women were actually working with these really beautiful mirrors, threads, embroideries. And that is how I realized that this is something that I wanted to do. I wanted to bring these kind of artisanal products to the mainstream.
So, how do you contact and collaborate with artisans back here in Telangana?
In Telangana, we work with ikats and kalamkaris. Kalamkaris are sourced from Machilipatnam and ikats from Pochampalli. I got in touch with an artisan from Koilagudam village near Pochampalli through through a lady called Suraya Appa. She was a textile revivalist, and she had a little store in Toli Chowki, and she was the one who put me in touch with these artisans in Pochampalli.
Do you want to talk about the NGO Kari by Kriti is associated with?
So how we work is that we design the products in-house, and we work with an NGO in Hyderabad. What the NGO does is that they create a small unit in one of the villages, and here the ladies are actually trained to stitch and sew, and some of them are trained to embroider and make paper bags. Once the ladies are trained, the NGO actually employs them and gives them opportunity to work in the unit that was set up in their village. This helps the women stay in touch with their homes. They don't have to go outside the village to work, and they can take breaks, go back home, check on the kids, and come back. So we have been working with one such unit since the last 7 or 8 years now.
How do you make sure to implement sustainability and durability into your products?
Quality is a huge part of Kari by Kriti, and I personally make sure that every product that we create has the quality aspect to it. So we always stitch our products with YKK zips. We make sure that we have seams that don't open up easily, and small things like that. So we make sure that our quality is top notch. How we work with sustainability is that one, we work with cotton fabrics. Two, we try and use as little plastics as we can. And number three, we make sure that our scraps are put to use. So all the fabric that is left over from our production comes back to our office. It is sorted here, and then we send it to an NGO in Calcutta. The NGO in Calcutta also supports women, and then the scrap fabric is actually turned into small products like coasters, small pouches, toys for hangings, and things like that.
So, what are some of the products that we are looking at, and where can we find them?
So most of our fabric comes from Jaipur, and it comes to Hyderabad, and here at the NGO it is turned into products. I love the bags collection that we currently have. We do a lot of personalized products like cosmetic pouches, laptop sleeves, and mobile cases, mobile hanging bags, duffel bags, coasters, placemats, everything. We also do a lot of curtains and home textiles like quilts, dohars, duvet covers, cushion covers, pillow covers, and all of this is available on our website, www.karibykriti.com. If you are abroad, you can buy our products through our Etsy shop, which is on an international platform or an international marketplace called Etsy. You can also contact us through our Instagram page or our WhatsApp number, which is mentioned on the website.
And what are your future plans?
So, in the future, we definitely want to add more and more products, more and more personalization, because I think that is a big market. We also want to work with more NGOs that we can support and who can support our designs. I think it's a symbiotic relationship. Also, to grow in the future, we are looking at doing a lot more pop-ups in Hyderabad. We are also looking to launch our products on various marketplaces. So that's the plan for 2024, and let's see how that goes.
Thank you so much, Kriti. It was wonderful talking to you. We see a bright curtain right in our background, and this is also one of our products. And there are many more on our website, as she just said. So, guys, please do check their website and get as many items for your home as you can.
So these are actual blocks that are used for block printing, and this is actually a 3-color block. This design is the outline. These two are the colors. The artisan will first do the outline, and then they will fill it up with these 2 colors. Suppose he makes the outline, then he has to make sure that the colors sit together, and that is where the precision comes in. This is a 3-color block. There's a green on the background, which is called the gad. There's a outline which is called the rake, and this is the inner colors that are filled in. So for every color you see on a block print, there's a different block for it. This actually came to us from Kutch. It's a hanging, but it looks like a little skeleton to me. I found it very cute, so I kept it for myself. These are sunglasses covers that we've recently launched. These are little products that we do out of our scrap fabric. They are, like coin purses. These moonj grass baskets are made in UP and parts of Uttarakhand. They're actually made from grass which is dried and then colored. And women in their free time, they actually weave these baskets. And this product is beautiful. It sells well as a basket and as a tray. And it also looks beautiful hung on the wall. These are sabai grass baskets, and just like our moonj baskets which come from UP, these sabai grass baskets are actually made in rural Orissa, and it's made by women who collect this grass and then they create these baskets with thread. So unlike moonj grass baskets which are actually colored, sabai baskets have thread work on them, which makes them very different. These large cosmetic bags are one of our favorite and best sellers. And what we've done is we've actually personalized these with the names. So they really do well for gifting. Quilts are one of our most loved products. This was one of the first products that I launched. Why our quilts are really loved is because we use a cotton malmal fabric. It makes them really, really soft. And we use a cotton batting inside, which is 100% cotton and also machine washable. This is actually a vintage yoke that I found in Kutch. This has been my inspiration and I keep it here to remind me of my roots and where I come from.